Recording in progress.
A very good afternoon to one of all, for both the physical and online participants. We move away for the session number 3, where AI in e-content and pedagogy will be taken by Dr. Sunil Prabhakar. Sir is a consultant with Mathrubhumi and a well-known expert in digital learning and AI-based pedagogy. Dr. Prabhakar's experience in creating engaging AI-enhanced digital content makes this session especially valuable for the education. Since this portfolio is very closely related with our NCERT, I now request Dr. Sunil Prabhakar ji to take over the session. Very good
Namaskar and good afternoon to all. Hope I am audible to everybody.
Yes, sir. Fine and clear.
So, I am Sunil. I am actually connecting from Kochi, Kerala. I am actually working with a media company, but engaged in upskilling people in using available technology to excel in their domain. I already, last year I conducted 1 or 2 workshops in the NCERT itself in creating e-content with the smartphone and AI. And today our topic is very closely related to that, AI integration in e-content and pedagogy. And the time is very limited, it's only 75 minutes. Then I will do one thing, I will talk something about the AI intervention in education, the global status and status in India too. Then I will familiarize you with some tools and possibilities in creating e-content using AI. Give me 1 minute to share my presentation now. And I will be switching from my presentation into the browser window often, because I will close this presentation and then will switch into my browser window, because I want to show you the real tools in the screen itself. So hope you are actually seeing my presentation now. If you want to communicate with me, you can use the chat box and you can type something in the chat box, and I will give you some time to interact also, maybe in the middle, or one in the middle and one in the end of the session. Okay, so we will continue, and I think somebody talked, the UNICEF and UNESCO people and somebody from Deloitte actually talked in the morning, and actually they talked something about the AI in technology in general. So I'm not going to discuss it again. Then I will straight away go to the other part. I'm not actually touching the basic technology behind it and the history of AI also. And consider AI is not a single technology. It is a name given for a collection of technologies. It's not a single technology. It is a family name given to a number of technology where you can automate something. And AI is possible only after teaching a machine with your data. AI is a data linked technology. Without teaching a machine with your data, AI is not possible. And this diagram will show you the relation between all these things. Artificial intelligence is taken in a general sense, where machine learning, without machine learning, AI is not possible. Without teaching your machine with your own data, AI is not possible. So it is goes to a subfield of AI. And there are technologies which enables machine to learn a lot of data in lesser time. They generally call it as deep learning. And all this generative AI large language model, because ChatGPT is a large language model, Gemini is a large language model. All these large language models, generative AI, everything is the result of the deep learning. And this diagram will show you the exact picture of the relation between all these terms. And you know that the deep learning is actually made possible by a technology called neural network. And this year, the Nobel Prize for Physics actually went to these people. And a lot of different neural networks are there. And the ChatGPT itself is made with a neural network called the Transformer, originally invented by Google in 2017. And that research paper is still available in the internet. You can download and read it. And the transformer, they are using a mechanism called attention mechanism. And the title of the paper is All You Need is Attention. That is the title of the paper. And a lot of neural networks are there. Different CNN is there. Actually, I think the person from Deloitte mentioned about the convolutional neural network. It's a kind of neural network, and there's retentive neural network, transformer, which revolutionized the industry, originally made for the translation of between languages. But the GPT is made with this. GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. And ChatGPT is a different product which connects a GPT, that is a model, with a chatbot, where it makes possible. It made it easy to have a conversation with the model by connecting it to a ChatGPT. It's a part of Industrial 5. They released a new product in 2022, November 30. And immediately they got a, the subscription ever in the history. I think they got a 200 million subscription in just 2 months. Okay, so again, the Google came with the Bard, then it is renamed into Gemini. And there is another one called Claude, another one called Meta AI, which is owned by the Facebook parent company Meta. Then another one called Grok, and another one called DeepSeek. Lot of LLMs are currently available, and we have our own LLMs, and the government of India is also thinking of developing our own LLM, and some Indian language LLMs are also available. Some models are also available nowadays. And don't consider AI as a replacement. Somebody discussed the same thing in the morning. Don't take it as a replacement. It can only increase your speed. It lacks the emotional intelligence. AI is only a tool. It is not a human. Don't consider it as a replacement. But it can do something. It can dramatically increase your speed in doing something. So you need to use AI in a very responsible manner, ethical manner. Otherwise, it is going to harm you. So the ethical or responsible use of AI in the learning process or in education, both the teaching and learning process, is much important. Use AI only to speed up your process, only to speed up your activities. Don't use it as an replacement. There is a famous book written by a person called Pascal Bornet. It actually published in 2024 September. It may be available in Amazon or in our online bookstores, titled Irreplaceable. Pascal Bornet is an automation expert with 20 years of experience in automation. And this book refers about the responsible use of how to live in the age of AI. It actually refers about how to use AI responsibly without losing your abilities, without losing your cognitive abilities. That is important. Yesterday, a new paper came. Actually, I shared it with our joint director, Dr. Amarendra Behra, just 2-3 hours ago. How these language models are actually impacting the cognitive ability of children. That is a detailed paper, research paper came 1 or 2 days ago. So don't use AI in a responsible way. Use it in a responsible way to increase your speed. I will show you how to increase your speed or how to augment yourself in using AI, especially in your activities. And generative AI is something we generally call it as Gen AI or GAI. Generative AI is an AI, any artificial intelligence technology capable of generating something. It can be a text or image or a video. There are Models which can generate text, LLM is an example, ChatGPT is an example, Gemini is an example. There are models capable of generating images. Midjourney is an example. Leonardo is an example. OpenArt is a lot of models are. Flux is an example. There are platforms or models which are capable of generating video. Google Veo is an example. Then Kling is an example. Runway ML is an example. A lot of models. Recently, the TikTok came with another model called the Seaweed. Lot of models. Every day, a lot of models are coming for video. Some are capable of generating audio, voice. Some are capable of generating animation. Some are capable of generating proteins. Recently, a model came from China, just like ChatGPT, where you can generate a new protein molecule, structure of a new protein molecule. So generative AI in general means it which generates something. Okay, lot of generative AI classes are there. In general, we have a text-to-text model, text-to-image model, draw-to-image model, image-to-image model, text-to-video model, video-to-video model, image-to-text model, text-to-audio model. Image-to-text means you can just scan your image in your textbook and create a story, a different story. Okay, video-to-text. You can transcribe some video into text. If you want to get the essence of a 2-hour webinar, just put it in this transcriber model and get the text transcribed in 1 minute. A 2-hour video you can completely transcribe in 1 minute. And today, actually, ChatGPT, they introduced today in the morning, ChatGPT introduced a recording feature in their paid versions, maybe in ChatGPT Pro and the ChatGPT Teams and ChatGPT Edu models. The recording option they have released today, where you can just switch on your ChatGPT model, you can have discussions, meeting, anything. ChatGPT will not create notes of everything, and after the meeting, it will generate a report or a minute, maybe in your style. So these kind of models, different class of models are available, and different mode applications are also available. So don't go for applications. The application may change at any time. You stick on the workflow. Lot of applications are there: speech application, 3D application, code application, image application, text application. Lot of applications are there. So finding an application is comparatively simple. I can show you how to find an application. I can actually switch to my browser window here now, and will show you how to create find an application. There is a beautiful platform called There Is an AI for That.com, where you can find any application. They have 37,114 generative AI applications. It's a tool repository, Gen AI tool repository, which using this you can have 13,576 tasks which is ideal for 4,995 jobs. Okay. Suppose if you want to make a PowerPoint presentation, a tool for PowerPoint presentation, then you can just search for PowerPoint presentation I want to make. Then in a matter of seconds, it will pour you with a lot of tools. You can have verified tools, Gen GPT, Presentation GPT, SOI Team, AI GPT, and you can even sort it based on as an AI agent, GPT or iOS or Android, or that may work with a cloud or in a browser, Chrome. So finding a tool is very, very, very easy. Then there are similar tools called OpenTools.ai. OpenTools.ai, similar one, where you can explore the world's famous AI tool list easily. So finding a tool is comparatively easy compared to using a tool. Using a tool is something different. Using a tool is something different. I can switch back to my presentation now. Using a tool is something different. It is not as easy as finding a tool, and lot of tools are there. So don't stick on tools. Tools may change at any time. So stick on developing your skills in using AI in the responsible manner. That is the way that we need to use. There are a lot of organizations working on this. UNESCO AI for Good. AI for Good is a platform by ITU, International Telecommunication Union, where you can see a lot of videos with discussion with experts on using AI for the benefit of mankind. It's a very good, their global AI summit is going to happen the next week, maybe in the first week of July. I am also going to attend this thing. And note down this website also is a India AI program. And it is link is indiaai.gov.in, which actually demonstrates or showcases almost all AI-related activities happening in the country, which is a very good source where you can refer. Then I can have some few slides on the use of AI in education, and especially beyond the hype and defining the AI role in education. A lot of documents are there published by the UNESCO and UNICEF. This is a document by the UNESCO itself. And AI is actually is a capacity of machine to think or perform cognitive tasks or problem solving skills or language skills, all these things. And it is already there, already here. It is not the technology that is going to come in tomorrow. It's already here. And according to the UNESCO's framework is already discussed. And I am interested in telling you the three main points, especially related to the school education. Learning with AI, that is using AI tools for support learning. That's the first framework. And learning about AI and developing AI literacy. Developing your understanding about AI, your understanding about the technology. And preparing for AI is the understanding the AI's societal impact, the ethical side. These three things are very important, and how to use AI tools and how to develop your own skills on AI, using AI tools, and how to use it in an ethical manner. These are very, very important. And you know that it is actually forcing, it is actually reshaping our classrooms now. It's accelerated adoption. You know that 93% of the faculty that expect that it will come tomorrow. And the rise of generative AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and they popularized the AI. I think the AI is a very old technology. It started in 1950s, actually. And 1950s is actually the John McCarthy used this word first time, artificial intelligence. But the ChatGPT which released in 2022 November 30, this made it more popular. So today, in a matter of 3 years, lot of tools, every day new tools and new features are coming. And most effective models are coming, most collaborative and models are coming where you can combine HI with AI, your creativity with AI. The designers and the filmmakers and artists have actually started using, even the teachers are using, some part of the world, teachers are using, but how to, that is very, very important, how to use AI, how to blend HI with AI in order to make miracles. And there is one problem, is the governance gap. That's always happening, in every case that is happening, because the technology is far away from the law. You know, technology is far away from the law. It evolves much faster than institutional policies, legislature, and all these things. That is a problem actually with us. We don't know how to use this technology effectively. We don't have any rules or policies. Even universities abroad are making use of AI use policies, where students can use based around these policies, based on these guidelines, they can use AI. So in school education also, the main role of NCERT is make a policy of using AI by teachers and students in the school level. That is very, very important, I think, and which will fill the governance gap. Okay. Then lot of technologies that you may encounter, you may use in this segment. Just listing out some of things: adaptive learning, customized learning systems, NLPs, natural language processing and voice recognition tools, and chatbots. Then intelligent tutoring system which can personalize the education, content creation system where using by powerful AI, different models, video models, and image model, you can create beautiful content, digital learning content with AI and robotics and embedded AI. Then it can make abstract concepts concrete, which is also important. Then, according to the UNESCO, it's already discussed, but I just want to mention it. The UNESCO's human-centric approach, and the goal is to achieve quality education for all. That is a part of Sustainability Development Goal 4, and that is one of the goals. Then, core principle is it need to be used to enhance or augment human intelligence and to protect human. That's all. The responsible use of AI, ethical use of AI is much important, which sticks on this core principle. You should use only to augment you. Don't use it to spoil you. That is all important. And as per the UNESCO's key actions, the regulation and data privacy, age limits, and all of things are happening. They developed a competency framework. Actually, the UNESCO people introduced the competency framework for teachers and students. They talked about it. I'm not going to in that area. And they have an international research center on artificial intelligence, and which is engaged in making all these things. And this is actually a summary of the activities of UNICEF in this part. I think this is a little older report that's published in 2021. Policy guidance on AI for children happened 4 years ago. And as per this document, they are supporting children's development and well-being, and they are actually prioritizing the child protection and child ability, cognitive ability, protection, and all these things as in connection with the use of AI. I'm not detailing in this thing. And in our country, actually, the perfect match is policy pull meets technology push. We have a policy pull. We have in NEP 2020, this is already discussed here. They have an NEP 2020 where there is a visualization about what you call achieving the personalization of education, which is very difficult to achieve with the traditional method where you need to use technology. So a policy-driven, their policy is already here by NEP 2020, where it is pulling technologies which can help make the learning much better, which can make the learning more personalized, which make the learning just like a Gurukula Vidyabhyasa, you know, where the guru, where in Mahabharata, Dronacharya, they understand the capability of each and every student, the potential of Arjuna, the potential of Bhima. He gave the ideal tool for Arjuna and another ideal tool, Gada, for Bhima. So personalizing content can be done with this is not possible in a massive education policy, massive strategy where in a classroom or 30 or 40 students are sitting and a teacher is actually teaching something or talking something in general, where all students may not be able to understand it in the same manner. But each student is intelligent enough. The people are of multiple intelligence. So depending upon its ability, his or her ability, we need to customize the content where AI can be utilized to create content which suits, that means customize, personalize the need of each and every child. That pull is there in the NEP 2020 itself, and the national AI strategy which give you a push, which is it's just like a push-pull train where we have a pull and push, where it is running AI strategy in India. I think the schools in India. So, though it is not only a new technology, it's a key agent that is going to personalize education and the content, the curricular content for each and every child. So the policy pull meets the technology push is also important. The policy is coming from the NEP 2020 itself, and the AI strategies, national AI strategies are actually pushing it further. Okay, and the in e-content making, you know that from the old static PDF format, it is going to the smart resource way. That is, you can have interactive quizzes, summaries, notes, adaptive content, multilingual content, interactive and immersive virtual labs, simulations, everything. So the teachers are now capable of doing this without the help of anybody, any production team, any technologies, any programmer, with the help of AI. So this is possible, and the government of India is also pushing it. And in 2024, I can show you one of my one page for you. In 2024, maybe I remember maybe in January 19, Ministry of Education is already tweeted list. What is it tweeted? Are you here? Are you seeing my exposed window? Seeing my exposed window? I am little bit faster because the time
Yes.
is limited.
Yes, we can see.
Are you able to understand? Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If well, you can just type Y in the chat box. Everyone can type.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Just a letter Y. Otherwise, you can type N. N. So that I'm not seeing any Y's or N in the chat box. Okay. Only two now. Okay. I hope they are seeing it. Then the Ministry of Education, Government of India, in 2024, treated like this: that the Government of India directs all school and higher education institutions to provide digital study material in Indian languages, within the next 3 years, aligned to the National Education Policy. So it is the policy of the government, and this PIB release also detailed about it. All school and higher education institutions to provide study material for every course in Indian languages digitally within the next 2 years, happened in 19th of January 2024. This is very, very, very relevant for us. So each and every teacher need to develop their own content in making their ideal study material which suits, perfectly matches the requirement of the learner, the student, not only a single learner, all learners in your classroom, to make the study possible, easier and much effective for them. So that is actually the importance of what you call this e-content making in this, the importance of relevance of my topic also. So transforming content, it is a interactive, immersive content you can make, and it is actually reinventing the pedagogy. You can have the personalized learning path depending upon the ability of the child. If the model is actually capable of interacting with the child and understanding its incapability and helping the teacher or the student to move in the right way. So we have intelligent tutoring systems, personalized learning path, predictive analytics. All these are possible with AI. I think lot of people there is a consortium called Teach AI working on it, where Khan Academy, the great Khan Academy, is a part of this Teach AI program. And I can just show you, just yesterday, I saw an interview with, is a very relevant thing, interview with between Kati K of BBC and with this fellow, which is a founder of Khan Academy, Sal Khan. And it is telling about the best case scenario for AI in schools. So it's a beautiful interview, and the Sal Khan is actually beautifully explaining the best case scenario. And it's a very wonderful interview where the video is available, I think in the YouTube link, or the video link is available in the BBC page, published a day ago. It can, it's a timely one actually mentioning. If you want, I can copy paste the link in your chat box. Okay, going back to the presentation again. Okay, so then what is actually AI is paying back? It is paying back the most valuable resources, time. So this is doing a teacher is using AI and teacher is not using AI. So automated grading of objective to answer question. Then you can actually free up with a lot of repetitive and administrative. You can leave this repetitive administrative task to AI. Even Tamil Nadu is using it currently. And you can leave all these repetitive tasks to AI. You can focus on creating good content, designing engaging lessons, facilitating discussion, mentoring students, helping them into learn. You can focus on the real teaching job, real teaching process, and leaving all these repetitive and administrative tasks to leave it to AI. So if you are capable of practicing AI, augmenting yourself with AI, if you are capable of practicing yourself in responsible AI, then it is going to pay back this thing, time, the most valuable thing. That is for sure. And what is a future ready educator? What is the role of the future ready educator? And you know that already told you AI is only a tool. It is not going to replace any teacher. But it is changing the role of the traditional teacher. The current role of the traditional teacher is going to obsolete. It is actually the teacher will become just like a secondary teacher. I accelerate to shift the role of the teacher as a facilitator, a mentor, or a guide on the side. Without the minimizing the what you call the digital gap, that means connectivity issue, digital divide, we call it as. We are going to the flipped classroom models. In most of the schools, they are going to the flipped classroom models, where teacher can use the emotional way, where you can leave the all repetitive tasks to the AI, then teacher can handle the human connection, empathy, inspiration, mentorship, anything. So it is redefining the role of teacher now. That is happening. Okay, and this is the main program based on the Commonwealth of Learning. It is currently happening in India, I understand. In the Commonwealth of Learning, it is happening. And the teacher in the loop model, the COL model, is then where you guide the AI, you refine the outputs, and you validate the suggestions. Don't, as Bahazar said, don't allow AI to rule you. You need to be the master, and you can use AI as a slave. So that is the policy. And this is one of the slide I made from a beautiful book published by UNESCO. And UNESCO in 2021, they published a book, How to Use ChatGPT in Higher Education in a Responsible Manner. This is a 16-page booklet where you can download it on the UNESCO website, and you can see a lot of documents. Just Google for AI in education UNESCO, then you will reach the UNESCO's page on AI for education, where you can see a lot of documentation, reports, guidelines, everything. So all teachers must log into that page to see all these things. And we have a lot of tools. I already told you, tools are not important. New tools will come every day. The old tool will go away. But don't stick on tool, stick on the use cases. So a lot of editing, translating, describing tools are there. Image, video, audio tools are there. A lot of tools are available. Every day tools are coming. But the most important tool that education may be using is LLMs. What do you mean by an LLM? Large language model. Large language model means a language model. An AI model, AI language model means an AI model capable of handling natural language, that is human language, even better than you. When it becomes extremely large, we generally call large language models. Smaller language models are SLMs are there. So ChatGPT is an example. Gemini is another example. Then Claude is an example, Claude.ai. DeepSeek is an example. Grok is an example. Hugging Face Chat is an example. Hundreds of LLMs are there. You can send GPT, Gemini, BERT, Lambda, Llama, Claude, Cohere, Galactica, DeepSeek, QNLM by the famous Alibaba. A lot of everyday new things are actually coming. And there are Indian AI bots, one called Bhashini. In using Bhashini, you can The application is also available where you can, I can show you the one website, Pashni website. You can go to pashni.gov.in and you can see their services and you can create your own account and you can see the what you call lot of resources here and Pashini apps in both iOS and Google Play Android versions. It is a real-time voice-to-voice translator for Indian languages. You can use it in your phone. And based on this Bhashini, the AICT is actually published a demonstrative website called Anuvadini, where anuvadini.aict-india.org, where you can see a lot of tools which supports Indian languages. Text and documentation, translation tools, video tools, then voice tools. When you can, the student can create an image by speak picture, just talk in Hindi and create a picture. Just talk in Malayalam and create a picture. Then handwritten AI, image background remover. All these are available for free, but it's a problem with this thing and it is not scaled up. So when 50 people comes together, the tools may not work properly because they are using a very poor backend. They are using a small portion of the Azure cloud, I understand. But there are wonderful tools like SpiderTube, where when you see something, when you want to teach something in your class, maybe in class 8, you may be teaching photosynthesis. If you happen to see a beautiful video of the mechanism of photosynthesis happening, a graphical video of mechanism of photosynthesis happening in leaves, and if you find that this is ideal for your students, sometimes the language may be German. What you will do? You note down the YouTube video URL, select the source language as maybe your language is German, so this is German, and select the target language as Hindi, then click on translate. Currently it works for video length up to 20 minutes. Immediately the model will translate all voiceover into Hindi, generate voice in Hindi, then after this you can download the video in Hindi. So such tools are available with these platforms. Okay, then going back to my presentation, so Bhashini is available. Another one is by this Bhashini, actually the project name is AI for Bharat. You can have more details from just logging to the website aiforbharat.iitm.ac.in because it is developed by Chennai IIT. And another one came, the project name is Bharat GPT, by actually a consortium of 8 universities under the leadership of Bombay IIT, where they made a tool called Hanuman. The spelling is not correct, it is actually Hanuman, H-A-N-O-O-M-A-N, Hanuman. Hanuman.ai is also available, which is supports Indian languages. Okay, then while using LLMs like ChatGPT or Gemini, you need to keep this in mind, multimodal and monomodal. When ChatGPT they released first time in last 2022 November 30, it was monomodal. What do you mean by monomodal? Where it can accept only text only by the typed in text. One word, you can have a conversation only in just by typing in the text. But today, just after 3 years, all models are multimodal, where you can input things in any mode. All LLMs, Gemini is capable of understanding your voice. ChatGPT is capable of understanding your voice. You can upload an image, you can upload a video, you can upload a PDF file. Your textbook you can download from the NCERT website and put it in the ChatGPT, put it in the Gemini, put it in Claude. Then you can get it analyzed. You can generate 20 short answer questions or 30 multiple choice questions, anything you can do. So nowadays, almost all models are multimodal. Multimodal means it can accept information in multiple mode. Okay, then ChatGPT is actually, ChatGPT there are plugins actually. Currently, it is not plugins, it is generally called GPT. We can see the GPT store where you can find a lot of resources. That means resources means small application. We generally call it as AI agent. You can even develop your own AI agent without no coding. A single line of code is required to generate make an model, make a agent, where you can, if you are a social science teacher teaching social science in class 9, then what you can do, you can collect all your information, maybe your textbook, your handbook, other resources you collected for effective teaching information you collected, maybe a YouTube video, maybe some website, maybe some other PDF files, whatever it may be. You can train a model inside the GPT itself, or other different applications are also there, where you can teach a model with your information, with your knowledge, then you can use it in a more effective way. You can use an AI agent for social science AI agent, social science teacher agent for class 9. That's also possible. Even the teachers can do it. And the OpenAI new format is coming. And this one is very important. I think the Deloitte people told about this RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. They showed an app also. But this is, in Kerala, this is happening. The Kerala State Education Department, Ministry of Education, is doing a RAG by teaching a machine with all knowledge bases. That means all students' textbooks in multiple languages, their handbooks, their resources. They have a resource called the Samagra, online resource called Samagra. So teaching a model where this retrieval augment generation is also possible. That is happening in Kerala. The first time in the country, I think, a ministry, a department is actually doing this kind of work. Okay. So somebody already mentioned, I think the Deloitte people already mentioned about it, but the teachers are now able to make one with your own knowledge, and they can use some features available in the LLMs, where I can go back to the my window. You can go to ChatGPT, where in the free model also we have a feature called research. You can collect information and do in-depth research with your thing. In ChatGPT, there is and Gemini, it is the where you can upload your documents and you can have the deep research. In the Grok, it is the, and there are other resources too, where open resources. If you don't want to share your information in the public space, there are open source alternatives. There are open source alternatives. I'm closing all these windows. Lot of windows are there. There are open source alternatives. I can show you something. I can show you one called, what do you call? Okay, look at this deep research feature, where the entire code for this thing is available, where you can add local resources, your research resources, maybe your textbook, your handbook. You can then use it as a rack, local rack. So without even writing a single line of code, each and every teacher, this kind of features are available. Just need to be comfortable with the environment. That's the only thing you want. Just need to be comfortable with the environment. You can do it in your own laptop, your own machine. And the Stanford University, they made a newer one. Nobody knows about it, called Storm, where you can create an article by giving a prompt which is lesser than 20 words. There is one called Storm, and even you can create a conversation, co-storm, a roundtable conversation, and convert it to a podcast. Suppose you want to create a podcast in what you call in some topic about the working of hydroelectric power. Maybe for class 10 physics students, you can create a podcast easily. Then you can create an article. And there is a wonderful tool called Notebook LM. It's AI notebook, where you can use the knowledge and ability language ability and intelligence of Gemini to create your own AI notebook. It is completely free. You can log to .booklm with the .google.com and you can create your own notebook. I am going to create one. You can create your own notebook. Okay. So you can add resources, any number of resources you can add. I am going to upload my resource. I am going to choose a file. For example, I will take one file. Maybe I have a sample with me. I will use this file. This is actually, I can show actually that file. I can show you this file to you. This file that I am going to use. I will share it again. I will show the screen. Okay. Are you able to see this? You know, it's a chapter from the CBSE NCERT textbook in the class 9 economics chapter. I am going to use it. I am going to use it in the notebook LM thing. Then I can show you again. I am going to use the notebook LM screen. Where is notebook LM screen? Okay. Okay. Then currently you are viewing the upload sources. You can choose a file or you can even drag and drop a file. I am going to drag and drop this file here. Okay. So we are adding the chapter. You are adding the chapter. Adding the chapter. So immediately after adding it, I can go to any number of sources. Actually, in the free mode, I can go to 50 sources for a notebook. Immediately after ending, it created a summary of the chapter. Then I can add a note, I can ask questions, generate, I can create a study guide of this chapter. Click on just on the study guide. It is going to generate a study guide. It is generating the study guide. After generating, completing the generation, you can click on this. Okay, it's already generated. Click on this. It will open the study guide. Use short answer questions based on this thing. Okay, essay format questions, glossary key terms, everything. Or otherwise, you can go back and go to ask a question. Explain me the economical activities going on in Palampu. Okay. It will generate an answer by reading and understanding your resource on the left side. It will not use the knowledge of Gemini. It will not use the knowledge of LLM, but instead it will read and understand your chapter and will tell you the answer. You can see the numbers like in this thing. 3, 2. What is it? Just click on 3. What is happening? It will shift into the particular, scroll into the particular portion of that chapter telling about this thing that you can easily verify. This is a super useful feature because AI can be false, AI can be hallucinated, AI can be biased, AI can produce wrong answers. But here, using this feature, you can easily understand what from where it made this content from the original source. So it is coming with a proper citations to your document. Then there is another feature. I can go back. There is another feature. I can save this as my note and click on the save to note. It will be saved on the right side of the in the mode studio mode we generally call it. And then there is one easy, very, very useful thing which is called mind map. Click on the mind map. It is generating a mind map. It will take just less than 1 minute to generate, and the mind map, my mind map is ready. I'm clicking on the mind map. What is made? It converted the entire content of the chapter to main points, and you can click to see the sub points of each and everything. So the learning can be super simple. Each and every point it is doing same thing. You can even download it as a graphic, as an image. Okay, each and everything you can. And even you can have even generate a podcast. You can have the deep dive conversation and you can create a podcast on some topic, maybe in this topic. You can say, I want to focus on the economical activities of the village Palampur. Then it will create a 5-minute or 10-minute audio conversation, maybe in Hindi, Malayalam, Marathi, almost all major Indian languages, it is possible. They can put it to your student, they can hear and find this way. Then there are lot of other features available in this thing. Then you can see the something called discover sources. Suppose as a student or as a teacher, for example, as a student, if you want to study this chapter, for the effective studying of this chapter, you may need the references. You may need additional sources. You might have seen videos telling about this topic of this chapter, content of this chapter. You might have seen websites with a lot of workbooks or questions, answers, everything in the web. Sometimes you may find a guide book or a handbook. So for effective learning of the chapter, you may need multiple resources. Similarly, for teaching, for the effective teaching, teacher may need multiple resources. Where to find those resources? You may be spending lot of time in searching in Google search engines to find the reliable sources. Where you can discover sources easily with this tool, and I can do. You need to be well enough, skilled enough. We can say that skilled enough in doing the prompting to do it in a wonderful way. I will use a prompt here. I am going to use a prompt here. You look at the window. I will copy paste, otherwise I will lose a lot of time. Then click on the discover button. One window will appear where you can type your prompt. You can have a detailed prompt. I am copy pasting a prompt, but I am actually pasting. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing it? Are you seeing it? Okay, just type Y. Do you feel this as boring? Nobody is typing. That is why I am doing. Yeah, somebody told me that this is boring. Okay. So I am actually typing one as a dedicated social science teacher with over 10 years of experience in Indian schools. This is a very major part of the prompt. Generally, we call it as role play. Role play is a major part of the major element of the prompting. I don't have much time in explaining the prompt engineering, but I am actually telling the model to act as a social science teacher with the 10 years of experience in teaching social science in Indian schools. And please provide a curated list, a selected list of a high quality educational resources for a class 9 student studying the story of village Palampur, chapter 1 of economics under CBSE syllabus, English medium. And what is the goal of this thing? The goal is to achieve comprehensive and effective understanding of the chapter. That's the goal, to learn it in an effective way. And what it is actually asking, find me resources, variety of resources. What are the resources? What kind of resources you are actually requiring? The resources can be the official NCERT textbook chapter. It can be trustworthy websites offering in-depth explanation or concepts like factors of production, farming versus non-farming activities, and the green revolution. It can be video lectures, maybe in the YouTube. It can be practice materials, handbooks and workshops and everything. And you can just, after having the prompt, you can just clicking on submit and see what is happening. in matter of some seconds or 1 minute, it will already found the story of village Palambur textbook from the NCERT website. Then free notes, PDF download in a website called Vedantu. Revision of notes, that science, not on factors of production. Then next to Google. It is actually finding useful, and another video, story of village Palambur, 2 videos, and a question bank for class 1 economics and class 9 economics story of village. Every resource, already 10 resources it's selected, and if you want to add it to your notebook, just click on. If you don't want to add something, you can uncheck it, and if you want to add it, just click on import. All these resources will be added to your notebook, and you can study in a much effective manner, and you can create your own knowledge base on learning this chapter. You can build your own knowledge base. And this can be done for a teacher too. I can again add use a different prompt for the discover. I am using discover. I am going to use another prompt in a teacher's context. In a teacher's context. I am going to use in a teacher's context. Okay, I already prepared something, and to develop a comprehensive teaching module and resource guide for my class 9 students, CBS English medium, for economics chapter 1, the story of village Palambur. What is my role? I am a social science teacher with over 10 years of experience. I am looking to create a blended learning experience that makes the chapter engaging, understandable, and relevant for my students. What is action? Please act as my teaching assistant and compile the following resources for my lesson plan. What kind of material you want? Source the latest NCERT class 9 economics textbook, focusing especially on chapter 1. Supplementary notes for deep understanding. Then find clear and concise web pages for digital handouts that elaborate the core concepts of this chapter. It is listed here. Curate a playlist of high quality, school appropriate YouTube videos that visually explain the concepts. And material for assessment and reinforcement. Compile a question bank including worksheets with fill in the blanks, multiple choice questions, a list of important long answer questions, everything. I'm going to submit it. See what is happening. It's actually getting all these things. All these resources. As a teacher, using the traditional search systems, how much time you will spend to find these resources? You can automate this process. You can save a lot of time in building your resources using such notebooks. It is a responsible way, because here in finding and searching content from the crores of websites in the internet, you may not be using any of your cognitive ability. You may not be losing any of it. It is only a physical work. It is only a repetitive task where you can use AI responsibly to find this content. Then after adding all this, you can ask for the question, I want to make a learning plan, a teaching plan for this lesson. I want to make it in a PBL, project-based learning approach. I want to gamify this chapter. You suggest some games to effective learning of this chapter. Anything you can make. You can make a podcast, you can make anything, video, content. So the content creation is very, very easy with AI, the responsible use of AI. But don't copy paste something generated with AI. Every time as a teacher, you need to recheck it. This platform helps you to recheck it, verify it. As a human teacher, you need to verify. You need to check whether this is relevant to my students, whether this is applicable to my students, whether I need to change. Don't paraphrase with AI. Don't create content with AI. Instead, you create your own content and put it in AI, then suggest me as a senior academic editor read and understand my content and suggest the potential errors, list out the potential errors, maybe spelling errors, passive voices, maybe grammatical errors, maybe a disconnection and logical disconnection with the paragraphs, anything. Where without losing your cognitive ability as an experienced teacher, with the help of AI, you can do it better. So always use responsible ways in making use of this thing. And again, going back to my presentation now, where is my presentation actually? Okay. 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 Then retrieval augmented generation, I already told you, and there are certain things about prompting. While prompting, you keep it in your mind. Be clear and specific. Don't ask for unclear things. You can have detailed prompts. Use complete sentence. Don't use a phrase. If you use a phrase, the model may take it in a different context. It is only a tool. It is not a human. It may not understand the thing that you are saying. So don't use a phrase. Always try to use complete, meaningful, simple sentences. Then add context, which is much important. The first prompt may not yield you better result. Repeat it multiple times. Specify the format you want. Suppose if you want as a bulleted list, tell it. Suppose you want as an essay, tell it. Even you can ask that I want the content with each sentence must be within the limit of 10 to 15 words. It must be simple, use Indian English, and each paragraph must not be longer than 4 sentences. You can clearly state the structure of your content. Okay, and always remember to add context examples. If you have good examples, if you have a question paper format with you, if you want to the question paper for this chapter, the test paper, for a test paper, based on your format, give that form as an example. I want to generate a new question paper by reading and understanding this chapter in this format. I have a format where you need to add 20% simple questions, 30% moderate questions, anything you can say. And use the persona. I already used the persona. Act as a teacher with the 10 years experience. You curate the list by acting as a teacher. Use that experience in curating this thing. Use the experience of a social science teacher with the 10 years or 15 years of experience in teaching this topic in Indian schools, then curate the list. So the model will automatically identify which knowledge base it need to use to create the answer. So the persona is that much important. Format is that much important. All these are things are very, very important in prompting. I am actually detailing this thing, but a lot of paid and free tools are available. And ideation, you can GPT and the Claude. Images, you can use Midjourney is paid, but Bing Create, it is not being create, it is Bing Create. Fireflies and Laxes for meeting notes, Runway, Pika Labs, lot of other tools are there, and speech to text models are there. Short generator, design tools. Canva is most used design tool. Writer, then Adobe Express is also available. Lot of such tools are there, and a lot of different tools, Space, Copilot, Grammarly. Lot of tools are Weed, Otter, Parshney, Hugging Face. Lot of tools are there. I don't have much time to go to the tools, but I will show you some tools now. Which will tell you more about this thing. You're doing something. Please wait. I will show you something I made with videos and other content I made with this thing. Okay, let me share it. The screen.
Yes, the relentless pull.
Okay, I will try to share. I don't know, I'm not sure about the audio or something, but I will share this content for you now. Screen with optimize for video sharing, share sound. Okay, share. Then this is a video made with VO3, a new model of Google, which is ideal for creating e-content on specific topic. It's only a model where you can go to any level, but just to see it. 1 second. I will play it now.
Ah, yes, the relentless pull. What goes up, or in this case sits rather precariously, must inevitably come down. Elementary, really. One moment I'm a rather charming chap, the next, poof, I'm nothing but a damp patch. Ah, the subtle dance of electrons. One moment you're minding your own business on the carpet, the next you're quite literally climbing the walls. Ah, buoyancy. It's what keeps a chap like me from becoming an impromptu submarine, you see. When a chap like me gets a good puff, the air inside vibrates. Those vibrations, my dear viewer, are sound waves. Just maneuvering into a better position for a bit of a snack, if you catch my drift. Oh, hello there. Rather unexpectedly, I find myself ascending. You see, I'm filled with helium, a gas lighter than the air around us. Well, this is unexpected. One moment you're minding your own business, the next you're a prism, apparently.
Okay, this kind of video stories you can generate. Then I can show you one interesting thing also. You can, there is another method of generating e-content, and going back to my this browser window, I am telling you a new tool called AI Studio, where I want to use something. I want to share in one of my screen. I will show you an image is there. I will, yeah. Are you seeing this image? Is a problem. Is a right angle triangle. All sides are marked. Length of sides are given. And angle alpha is marked. I want to find the sine alpha of the triangle. Then I am going to use a model in a pedagogical way. Okay, I am going to use AI Studio for it, where I can click on this generate media option or in stream option. Then I can add my screen. I can share my screen. I can click on just in like a meet. I can share my screen. I am going to share this image.
Hello,
Then
sir.
go to art.
Hello, Sunil sir.
Hello.
Sir, this AI Studio is preventing the screen sharing, so we were not able to see what you tend to show us. Sir.
Yeah.
You're saying
Okay. Maybe preventing it. Okay, 1 second. I can stop it now. Yeah, because two screen sharing is maybe happening. Okay.
Got it. It sounds like there might be an issue with multiple screen sharing instances occurring.
Yeah, exactly.
simultaneously.
It's an issue with the multiple screen sharing. Don't share the screen. Okay. I will do one thing. I will show you in the offline mode.
I'm ready. Can you specify what you would like me to do with the triangle?
You want me to calculate the sine of alpha?
Okay, I don't want the right answer for this question, but my son want to learn it. And
Okay.
can you teach him in a pedagogical style without telling him the right answer?
You would like? I'm sorry. I'm having trouble understanding your request.
Hello?
Could you please rephrase it?
Hello? Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, sir.
So
Hello.
not the.
I can assist with a
asking for
variety of
model.
tasks.
You don't need to answer.
Could you clarify what you'd like me to assist you with?
Okay, I am actually, due to some technical glitch, I am actually stopping.
I can't understand.
Raise your request.
Okay. I am actually stopped sharing it. 1 second, please give me 1 second. Okay.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay, the AI Studio is actually, I can tell you, the AI Studio is actually where you can share your screen. For example, I already told you a screen. When I can share that screen, I can ask a question. I can ask the model to teach it in a pedagogical way. Then model will start asking questions. What is the right angle here? Which side is opposite to the right angle? And which side is the opposite side? Which side is the adjacent sides here? Then it will teach me the concept of the sine, cosine, and tangents. Then it will help me to find the sine value in the triangle. Then will help me to calculate the sine alpha. And you can do it in a conversational mode with the model in a pedagogical style. And after doing this, you can download the entire screen and voice, and you can make a tutorial. It's a wonderful feature available. Okay, anyhow, it is already 3:10. I have only 4 minutes more to complete. My time is up to, I think, 3:15. Am I right, Geet? Yeah. I'm actually now opening for some questions. If you have any interaction, and you can have the interaction. Otherwise, I can do one thing. I can, okay. 1 second. I can show you something. Just 1 second. Give me 1 second. Share, maybe sharing this, and I can go to the bottom, and you can use this my LinkedIn window where you can send me DMs on his direct messages to me, or otherwise you can talk to Dr. Behra or Dr. Ragesh, then they can contact me with your questions. Anyhow, I am open to questions now.
The faculties who have joined online are being given preference now. Anybody can ask the doubt. Anybody from online can ask any doubt related to the session. If you're not audible, kindly type your question in the chat box also.
Nobody is. Are you feeling boring?
No, sir, it was
Yes.
productive.
Please type why.
Okay, anybody from here in the physical? Who's attending here in the physical 202?
Nobody have a question? Or somebody here sitting here, yeah, somebody is asking a question.
Sir, we will be coming back with the collective questions. Maybe they must be now busy in...
Yeah, I got a question. Can I have the name of the AI with which animated video was created? It's clipped from me. Actually, lot of tools are there. You can use the AI Studio itself, where you can click on the media generation and use VO. VO2 is available. Or otherwise, you can use Kling AI. Or there is one called a free tool by the framepack.net by the Stanford University, where you can use, and framepack.net, which is available for free. So a lot of models are there. In VO, you can generate up to 8-second video a day. Every day you can create 8 seconds video in the free mode. NEP suggests for experiential learning. Okay. experiential learning, there is one called AR in learning. I can show you one simple example now, just 1 minute, using AR, where you can generate with AI. Let me do it first. Then I can share it now. 1 second again. Share that particular screen. Where that screen? Lot of screens are here. That's the problem. Okay. Okay. See this video.
I hope there is a glitch, sir.
The glitch is there. Are you not seeing the video?
Yeah, it is being blocked by a black screen.
1 second. Maybe some other, maybe stop share. We'll close the screen and we'll share it again. 1 second. Are you seeing it now?
No, sir, it's getting loaded, but it is not showing.
Maybe due to some, maybe the video is actually
I hope no issues, sir.
Maybe.
We will.
bandwidth issue. Actually, it is a video of a paper plane making where the air is helping how to fold the plane with AI. That's the video. Okay. So that is good for experiential learning where you can have these simulations and experiential thing easily with the AI models. Okay.
Sir, with this wonderful session on AI integration of e-content and pedagogy, I would like to.
Any one or two feedbacks, Dr. Rajesh?
As of now, we are collecting it, sir. We will send you, sir. If
Okay, no issues. No, just okay. Okay. So
as
you
per
can. I will stop my video now. You can proceed with your session. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I wish to thank you on behalf of ASL and DICT, CIT, NCERT. It was a wonderful session, and I hope our relation continues because you have given plenty number of lectures earlier also for CIT, and most of the teachers were benefited through your eye-opening sessions. However, this session was theoretical, but mostly your sessions will be only practical. We know that. Maybe in the forthcoming sessions, we can have plenty number of tools and we can explore your knowledge further, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, a way forward, now we are breaking for tea, which is the need of the hour. So, for next 10 minutes, you can go for a tea and then come back.
Welcome back. Welcome back to all of our participants. I hope all have been settled now, and we now begin our final technical session, which will be taken by our in charge AI cell, Dr. Rajesh D. The topic of the session is way forward and uses of AI in NCERT. So may I kindly invite sir to share thoughts on our roadmap. Sir, please.
Recording in progress.
A very good afternoon. Actually, I should say good evening. It's so happy to have this session on behalf of CIT NCERT. The core objectives of initiation of such workshop to understand each other. That is the first one that we thought when I was discussing about organizing this workshop with my head, Professor Indu Kumar, and head PRD. So they said that instead of thinking with the initiation called as globalization, we should first collaborate, collect from plenty number of people to have their thoughts, where we should also think about what is running in the minds of our own faculty members. Because wherever we are walking, we find the highly impressive word called artificial intelligence. So actually what is artificial intelligence that we have to understand? Because plenty number of sessions we had attended under the kind leadership of our director sir at IIM Nagpur. We were good educationalists. We had upgraded ourselves with the knowledge of NEP 2020. We had been addressed by many NCFs, SE and FE. And also we had been addressed with plenty number of social and inclusiveness, how a teacher should behave. As a faculty member of NCERT, how we should behave, all these pro thoughts were being shared. Along with that point, we should also understand what is AI, and the way forward of AI into our ecosystem is the need of the hour. My dear friends, most of you know what is AI, how to use AI, but most of us forget without air, AIR, there is no living thing in this world. Similarly, without data, there is no artificial intelligence. That is a prime. So while collating data, we should take more care. Then we should think about sensitive data, unsensitive data, relative data, irrelative data, or you call it as supervised data, as somebody said in the morning, unsupervised data. So we need to take care of data inside. When I spell the word data, there are plenty number of factors that come as to. As a pure computer science background, I can talk about data for hours. But as a technical eye-opener, I say data is so sensitive. Because for me, a data feels like boring. For somebody, the data belongs to be impressive. And for the third category, we can say the data is deriving plenty number of useful informations. So in that way, if we say data is everywhere, we cannot say that data is only with me. For example, you take a family of 4 members. You can take a sample example of the mobile phone, because we are all living in the era of digital era where Android has taken up. And we are opening our eyes in the morning using WhatsApp. WhatsApp says good morning rather than your husband, wife, child says good morning. So when you look into this usage of the AI, you see plenty number of redundant data. What is exactly happening in the family? My photo is stored by my wife. My wife's photo is there in my mobile phone. And if I have 2 children in my house, the same reciprocation is also happening. So when I dig into the total size of storage used in all the 4 mobile phones, the occupancy is 80% in my mobile phone, in all the 4 mobile phones. But when we keenly understand opening the mobile phone and then understand, see how much is the original data that we have, it is going to be less than 20%. Whereas the 60% of the data is repetitive, which you call it as redundant. So as a faculty of NCERT, when we look into the history of NCERT, there are plenty number of ample resourceful sources available. We are doing plenty number of things repeatedly at certain stages of under every department wise. So we need to collate ourselves, we need to collect ourselves, we need to keenly drill down to find the useful information from that, as we are doing regularly. So in that case, this is my objective, where data is the prime source for this particular presentation and we need to take care of the data. So keeping this as the objective, I will now jump into the slides, where I will be presenting you the way forward, followed by the alignment of NEP 2020 and NCF, which is again the holy chapter for school education ecosystem. So in that case, you can see the cases that I'm going to display here or talk about here. It is there. The first is the vision. So the AI cell has been prepared with the vision that AI is a keyword that has been derived from the disruptive technology. As per the chapter 23 and 24 of NEP 2020, we talk about more emerging technologies. We call it as emerging technologies, then why we call it as a disruptive technology? There is a difference between using the keyword emerging and disruptive. Emerging changes every day. Disruptive sits somewhere in the mind of the people and then slowly people's ideology is also stolen. For example, every day when you start using WhatsApp, even before going to bed, your mind says that look into the WhatsApp. Or if you are having the habitual of looking into the reels by means of scrolling, your mind is now taken up by the Instagram. When somebody is not talking or talking to you, you don't respond to the human being, your finger only keeps on moving to it. So this type of technology is called as disruptive technologies. But however, we cannot neglect these technologies. We are forced to use these technologies, but however, we have to take into the vision that what is good, what has to be taken. As most of the world is taken around by the negative sense. We always have positive environment in NCERT and we are focusing on the positive way. So in that way forward, you can see this slide where the vision statement says that NEP's 2020 vision for tech integrated education has to be sincerely manipulated. So this is the first point. Second, enhanced teaching learning, binding, or you call it as bridging learning gaps and equitable access to the education. We still write these things in the paper and still when we go for doing the pilot study in the state level or the district level or the block level, we find again the equity access is not there. However, the growth of NCERT has productively shown up in the Diksha 2.0 also we can find equity access. So that is why PAL has been integrated into the system of Diksha 2.0. The third, we have to have a support of data-driven decisions and inclusive education through the technology. Again, I come to the word called data here. If a data is being fed into the system of bias, then your output will also be biased. If I take a candidate before interviewing that somebody calls me and says me that this candidate is not good, even though the candidate performs well 100%, my own dot mark will in my mind where my LLM is already trained saying that she is not good or he is not good. So that is why we have to take the support of data-driven decision where instead of thinking about others' recommendation, we should keep our own LLM or decision making directly with the interaction of the data. That's the point that number 3 focuses on. By the fourth point, I would like to say that we should create an AI awareness. It should also have a skills and responsible usage to connect policymakers, researchers, and learners and trainers. So this is the fourth objective on which we are sitting today. We are sitting in this hall for the entire day for this particular fourth point, where the first 3 have been done as a homework and the fourth has to be further drilled down. I would like to say that more number of awareness programs will be taken as an hands-on in the future. Today it was an inauguration, so we had more theoretical impact, and it was also very selective to focus only on NEP 2020 and NCF. and also to have a globalized view we called UNICEF and UNESCO. Rather than when we go by with the vision of this particular statement, in the future, every faculty of NCERT will have their own domain integrated with AI. So that is the focus. So the focus is to build an inclusive, ethical and innovative AI ecosystem for the school education signed with or aligned with NAP 2020, promoting AI literacy, responsible usage and India's leadership in education technology. So that is the fact of vision that we have taken it for the AI cell. And again, there is a question, why is so much focused on AI today? So this is the answer for my question. To catalyst AI adoption for learning outcomes. In spite of having plenty number of studies on learning outcomes, whether it is a teacher's learning outcome or it is a student's learning outcome or it is the parents' learning outcomes, we need certain data-driven decision to be taken based on AI. So that is fixed here as a catalyst that will have more accessible. What is happening in NCERT should be shown outside. What is really happening, what activity is being done, for whom it is done, who is the outsource of it, who is going to be benefited of this has to be projected. So these things has to be provided based on the AI adoption. Number 2, we are planning to support more teachers and policymakers through data-informed insights and training. However, most of them have covered this. So whatever we do, our objective is to finally train the teachers so that their insights grow for the nation's upgradation. Number 3, to bridge learning gaps using ethical and inclusive AI-driven solutions. Before moving ahead, can we ask ourselves a question, what do you mean by ethical and what do you mean by inclusive? Both are same or different? Any answers? How do you say it is ethical? How do you say it is different? Mike.
Ethical refers to whether the steps we are taking are right or wrong, and inclusive refers to that each and every child will be included, so that the solutions which are given should cover each and every learner rather than just for those who can go through easily.
You, Dr. Nidhi. Anybody else can give a difference or same? We should have integrity of both. If a person accepts a fault, it doesn't mean that it is inclusive. It comes also under the part of ethical. He accepts that this is ethically wrong. When you copy a document from other person, a faculty of your co-faculty is writing a paper, you can ask them to put your name as a request. But it doesn't mean that when a paper is given for a review, we take the paper for review and then modulate by means of paraphrasing and then putting our name as a special paper is not ethically accepted. So where we need to understand what is the relationship between ethical usage and inclusive education, right? So this is mostly not acceptable by most of the human beings. So we are generating AI to understand it. Because sometimes we are easy goers. We always say that if I like a person, even if the person takes a knife and pokes at me, I'll say koi baat nahi. If he is an enemy, if I don't like him, even if a mosquito from his side comes and bite me, I'll say he is very much horror to me. So in that way, we have to understand what is ethical and what is inclusive. The 4th point, to position NCERT as the leader in responsible AI innovation in school education. So that is another key important focus that we had made. So since morning you had been hearing about AI. And even in one of the session of use cases where Deloitte even shared about something, the concept about AI focused with computer science. But what is this diagrammatic representation? Why this been present here or given here? See, we, the faculty members, are the cream and sole responsible holders of the content. When we collate data, it doesn't mean that all the faculty member or all the teacher will be able to write their own content. Some has ideas, some has creative writing pattern, some has beautiful image generation, somebody has referencing and bibliography, somebody has even use cases as a dream. So when we collate all together, we call it as a system of education in the fact of teachers. So when this diagram, the red box is acting as a teacher, acting as a faculty, acting as a global usage of an organization, where this red box will talk about NCERT. In NCERT, we should have, or we will be having, 3 types of AIs. The first one talks about Gen AI, the second talks about Agent AI, the third talks about ChatGPT. Clearly, I would like to explain you what these 3 means. If I have a data, if I own a data, if I want to fetch some useful information from the data that I have, I will be selecting the first one, which you call it as generative AI. I'm not going to ask anything outside that box. That is the first one, which I said you. Since NCERT has huge volume of resources, we should combine, collate, and then we should keep it as a LLM, where we can ask n number of questions what is happening in the past. I'll go to the third one. ChatGPT based. What is this type of AI talking about? This AI talks about globalization. ChatGPT works especially based on the search engines. Search engine may be anything. It can be related to your Google. It can be related to your Coach.com. It can also be related to any of the university databases. There are plenty number of university databases available as search engines. But in India alone, we concentrate only on Google. So that is why Google takes over India. The point here to be noted is the data that you are fetching through ChatGPT is searched from the internet and it has been given where there is no authenticity. The authenticity solely is responsible with the faculty member who is going to search anything. Number 1. Number 2, as already spoken by some of the experts in the morning, the output of the ChatGPT has to be re-verified by the teacher or a faculty. Not for the content of language. Language is because most of the faculty have good language, good communication, good writing skills, but they lack intersection. Intersection in the sense when a human being talks, he always stresses and passes. For using stress and pass, we always have comma and full stop. But when you generate a document based on ChatGPT, you will never find full stop, you will never find comma. This itself makes us to identify that the child has given the document by himself or he has generated from the ChatGPT. Number 1. Number 2, the sources that you get from ChatGPT are to be verified by the faculty members. Because ChatGPT collates data. And nowadays, ChatGPT 4.0 has been overtaken by Cloudy. Most of them are unofficially paying Cloudy, and then you have taken Cloudy also. So what is the difference between ChatGPT and Cloudy? ChatGPT gives you the summary. What you ask, you get the answer. But in Cloudy, you ask something, you will get everything based on references. You can keep class 1 to 12. We can create an agent AI. What is the use of that particular agent AI? This agent AI will help the students to solve their doubts. If a student of class 1 asks any doubt of a particular chapter, even the chapter doesn't belong to his own class 1 or 2 or even 5, 6, it will collate the data from other sections and respond to him. The response level or the response timing taken will be faster than the teacher. However, please underline and note, the output will not have any real-time examples. The exact lines of the book will alone be reciprocated as the output. But as we all sit together here as NCERT faculties, we can collate further, we can do plenty number of researches so that we can define. Because when I talk about agent AI and the textbook, there are plenty number of layers that we have to integrate. We have to use the Department of Teacher Education, we have to use the Department of Pedagogy, we have to use the Department of Psychology. All faculties of NCERT should sit together to define one agent AI for a single class textbook. So that is the need that we have to think. That is the only point that I would like to stress here. So when we talk about NCERT to be implementing AI, we are going to have 3 levels of AI. Whatever type of AI you are going to work on, it will only give you the LLM. What is LLM? Large learning models, which will help us to frequently talk about the same thing so that it gets itself trained so that it answers our questions. So when this LLM is trained, so automatically the outcome is coming out. Any user can use that outcome, and further again it can be treated back to the system. So that is what this architecture talks about. So this is the one of the AI learning loop which you are going to connect data and intelligence so that it supports the educational impact. So this is the model of our AI cell we are going to work on. Moving further, the theoretical strategic objectives. We need to build institutional capacity for AI integration. You would have surprised to know that when I sent this invitation, I requested most of our faculty members not to share outside the link of this particular meeting because we need to understand first. We need to thoroughly have a catalyst between us because we have n number of departments. We are sitting in different locations. Most of them, 99% are very qualified. But only thing is that we need to have a simple sync. We need to understand each other. So build institutional capacity for AI integration. This is the point number 1. When you build it, automatically we'll have the strengthening where AI literacy and skilling among students and teachers. We also parallelly think about students' implementation and their usage followed by the teachers' training there. We always should have, because when you take up technology, the problem is that we cannot neglect. Even if you don't want to do a work on a particular day, when you start integrating technology inside you, you cannot stop. Because the technology will not stop. It will even threaten you, pressurize you. So that is the way that we have to understand. So for that, when we take technology, we should also understand how do we bridge learning gaps through responsible data information based AI solutions. Because at certain stages, we human beings get tired. We see that आज का काम इतना ही कल देखेंगे. But when you started injection AI, it won't stop. It will motivate you or it will neglect you. That is the point that we have to understand. It will ask you 2 to 3 reminders. The 4th reminder, it will not be for you. It will train itself so that it will neglect. Even if you want to jump into the 4th loop, it won't allow you. So that is the beautifulness of this particular AI. Where positively we have to think, it will help us to bridge all the gaps. Because at certain times we forget, it recalls us. So AI enabled or AI driven curriculum and content innovation can be taken up as our task, followed by promotion of research, innovation, strategic partnership with the educational focus is being planned. So the scope of our NCERT's mandate. So how AI can mandate are being inserted with the scope of NCERT is being depicted here. Maybe the font is very small, I'm sorry. The PPT is sent to you in the WhatsApp. You can also check if it is not visible to you. Within a minute, you will get back. Don't be in a rush. I have informed him. So the first point is talking about curriculum integration. We need to have NCERT's envisions of AI in a cross-cutting enabled embedded across core institutional domains in the NEP and NCF 2020 format. So the first point comes as a curriculum integration. Number 2 comes in the category of teacher capacity building. Third will be focused on educational media protection. The 4th will focus on educational research and analysis. The 5th will be talking about assessment and learning outcomes. And the last will be talking about planning, policy and governance support. So these are very generic and these are all closely to our heart when we talk about mandate. So this is what we would like to pitch in here. The pillars of implementation, because when you talk about scope, it is mostly theoretical. It's all designed theoretically based on the policies. But how do you implement the policy in the real time? So this is how. These are the 5 pillars or 6 pillars, which is a robust AI-based plan. The first comes under the category of curriculum and content development, where creation of AI literacy and also you can find subject-specific AI tools, multilingual, OER, and accessible digital content. Earlier, we used to study OER as a theoretical component. We used to only open up again google.com, or we used to search an image and then we say that this is the type of the image that you are working on. So please be careful about using the image. That is what we are should tell when we teach OER. But today we are not teaching that because most of the search engines are inbuilt with AI. Now only the only objective is that how responsibly we are using the image. As of now, when you even search an image now in the Google, any number of images come, and we don't have time in this hot pressure cooker world. We immediately download some image. When somebody wants to threaten you, then after 10 years they'll write a letter saying that this image was stolen from you or from me. So kindly, based on the IPR activity, you will be charged for it. So in order to avoid that, we normally whatever image, whatever urgency we are downloading, it is always recommended that we used to use the CC BY licenses, which is recommended. Whenever somebody comes here for their training, we used to always focus, and now AI-based training is also being given. Teacher capacity building is also planned, and also the educational research and innovation is also focused. Ethical assessment and evaluation, which we, when a friend recommends a tool, we immediately start downloading it without knowing what is the impact behind it. So we need to stop, we need to put a question mark, why should I use if she is using or he is using? Maybe the usage of ethical may be different from one person to another person. And also I would like to again reiterate here, there are n number of open source tools. Even before using open source tools, we need to understand one particular bylaw which normally only a few people know. Whenever you are going to download any open source software, if it is free, it is open source, please check you have community support or not. If you don't have a community support for the software that you download, which is based on open source, my dear friends, we are stuck. Because if it is not a community support based software, the software will not get updated. Maybe within 6 months, you have to search for another software if you are not going to use open source with community background or community support. So I would like to highlight this here. Governance and monitoring. Every open source tool provider provides a community support. There is a team, technical team who really works on that particular tool, because if I do a research tomorrow, I think that this tool may be useful for only students, I launch the tool. After the tool has been launched, I am not bothered. If I have a community of 6 or 7 students with me, I will ask them to be a community where they will be keenly observing me. They will be frequently asking me, sir, this is launched, this number of users are using it. Further, what is the enhancement of it? I need to update my patches. If I am not updating my patches, how do you update a patch? Only if a community, group of technical people are there who are working for that particular software or a tool. If there is no community, we are not going to have any enrichment. Because your Windows operating system itself gets updated automatically. What does it mean? It means the software has been reversed. Somebody has given a complaint at some place. Based on that, based on your geographical information, this Windows operating system also upgrades itself. We call it as patches. If you don't have a community for any open source software, please don't download it. There are plenty number of alternatives there. Don't be in a hurry in selecting a tool. These are my few suggestions. Governance and monitoring. The wonderful example of governance and monitoring, which you can find it in the Vidya Samiksha Kendra. So we are collecting plenty number of data from plenty number of states. 36 states data is being collated. However, in the real time, we have only 33 states data, 30 states data exactly, if you want the number. We are now collating the attendance data, and further ASR on the way forward. So when I jump into the curriculum very specifically, you can see here, AI curriculum framework is to be aligned with NEP and NCF 2023. We are in the plan. When I talk about curriculum development, we should also have the multilingual content that has to be generated through OER. Today, most of them are busy in generating their own content. Most of them are becoming editors. Most of them are not becoming authors. Why? The teaching fraternity has lost interest because most of them are running behind ChatGPT. So, and also there is another separate search engine which talks about multilingualism. But for us, you also should know all the textbooks of NCERT CIT has been converted into all 22 plus 1, 23 languages. So multilingualism is already there in NCERT. Curriculum gap should be analyzed by us through AI and machine learning. When I say about machine learning focuses on talking with data. A simple layman language is that if somebody asks you what is machine learning is a tool that helps us to interact with the data that we have. And also further, the experiential and inquiry-based learning system will also be integrated in this particular department. So the tools of the content which I said you, even Dr. Sunil was showing plenty number of tools. Since he himself is a Wikipedia of tools, a few that could be closely for us defined for NCERT. The first is ChatGPT, Cloudy 3 and Bashini for multilingualism. Here you should also know that all the textbooks of NCERT CIT has been translated through Bashini. Number 2, Delhi Firefly for powerful, powered visual. These are all becoming as the other supporting tools, which is clearly focusing towards integrity of agents. The third belongs to the text to audio and voice to AI tools. Whatever activity we are doing in NCERT, we should always try to have inclusivity because we have written it in the theory, but we always get absent in including ISL into our curriculum. We should include ISL also then and there, how these two type, text to audio and voice-based AI tools can be incorporated. So how do we use these tools? What is the experiences that we are going to get? These are the experiences like we are going to develop a pilot AI tools for education, adaptive learning, language tools and analytics, producing high quality OER on AI topics, use AI in EM, which you call it as educational media production, which includes accessibility from the design. So we will be working on to it. So the core next component comes as teacher education and professional development. So we simply talk about AI tutor, which is a very fancy word today in the world, especially in our country, AI tutor. Similarly, we should have personalized training for the teachers first of all. There should be pathways. Like we normally ask how to handle this type of child in my class. We should be thinking on this. Even the DGS and department can support or think about these projects. GenAI for simulation of practice of teaching. Most of them have degrees. Still, they are not able to cope up with different types of teaching learning processes. Because when we go with plenty number of NCT protocols, we find only micro teaching, macro teaching, and then real-time experiential learning. But when you clearly observe, most of them do it theoretically, but when it goes to the learning outcomes understanding, we are lagging there. So there was a throw here. Still, you can find the next point, real-time feedback through AI dashboards. During COVID, we had been using some of the tools like Kahoot only to make it impressive as feedbacks. Then also, the feedback was not fine. Can anybody tell me what was missing there? In order to make it as a game theory, we use Kahoot. But when you use the word keyword, you should not have a name. We should not have a name of the participant. But still we have a name of the participant in all. Even my feedback system is also having the name. Right? Most of them are theoretical, but still we are not able to understand. Micro-learning models and capacity building via NISTA is planned. There are plenty number of way forwards that has been planned. The next talks about the tools for teacher capacity building. Lesson planning and content, which is already run through the NISTA program. Reflective practice and feedback is to be now reciprocated. We are working on it. Student assessment and feedback. Again, this is another. When we talk about student assessment feedback, still plenty number of schools in the country are using their own platforms, which is freely available. They do not know who is having the access. They do not know the sensitive information. When you talk about assessment, there is plenty number of sensitiveness inside the child's mind. So we have to think about that. Personalized training pathways, which I said you, maybe through NISTA we can plan onto it. Communication and collaboration, AI chatbots. We had already prepared one AI chatbot for the NCERT website also, that will be launched officially with the permission of Director NCERT. When I talk about assessment further, these are some of the way forward. AI-driven adaptive testing should be done. We are not testing here about learning activities. We are talking about how do you test, what type of platform you are going to use. Is the platform biased or not? If the platform is biased, if I want to fail some candidate, I can directly put a code insert into it, right? So we need to avoid this. Real-time formative feedback is required. As students, after giving the examination, gets the score, the teacher should also get the feedback. Teacher's analysis should also be shown immediately to the teacher, how many students have performed, what is the content level of understanding, where they were lagging. Personalized report of a child should be generated for the teacher himself or herself. So these things we have to think about. Early detection or identification of learning gaps. We only think about 3 categories in a classroom, where we talk about slow learners, middle learners, and the hybrid learners. But we never forgot, or we never use the word called as inclusivity, where CWC children were never being taken into account. When we talk about textbooks, we talk about assessments, we need to have more platforms onto it. I hope we are doing plenty, but we are not able to collate it somewhere. So automated grading system, which most of the states have started. For example, now you can see Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, where the teachers are not doing manual evaluation. They are just scanning the answer sheet through the QR code, and then the results are being generated directly. So where one step the workload of the teacher is down, where the stress time is also down, so they are using it in an ethical way, where inclusiveness is also another biggest point. So when we talk about AI, when we talk about machine learning, we should talk about big data analytics also. So that is why I have taken up this here. When you talk about big data analyst, big data, the word itself helps us. Maybe most of you, if you are not computer science based, you might be thinking big data means large volume of data. Yes, it is a large volume of data, but only one thing you need to understand is that we used to think about 3 V's into it. One we call it as variance, one we call it as velocity, and we also call it as versatility. If you create a large volume of data, we should always think about 3 V's. What is the problem of having these 3 V's? If you don't have 3 V's, then we don't call it as a big data, because it is nowhere going to be used by any person. For a classroom of 40 people, you have a class leader to represent. Something goes wrong, something goes very appreciable, we call the class leader and then give the accreditation to him in a positive way or negative way. Similarly, for any data, we need to have these 3 V's. If you don't have 3 V's, we are not going to do any of the AI-driven decision-making system. We need to have AI-embedded dashboards where human interventions will not be there. Predictive models for planning, which we have already taken up. Now we are even focusing in the Vidya Samiksha Kendra to identify the dropouts. So how we are going to work on, we are planning to it. And mostly we should understand using AI as a gap identifier between 2 systems, not between 2 human beings. We are not here to find any fault with anybody. As a teacher, learner, faculty, we should understand what could be the best, because everybody cannot walk parallel. That is the only objective. So the next is the focus of AI in media production. These are some of the concepts. Like you can see, AI can be incorporated in the content creation. AI can be a voiceover and translation automatically to be done. But in translation, again, there arises a cost. Still, it is a booming area where the stress passes, and the local conveyance, which you call it as linguistics, is still a far boom for creating a 100%. What you call it as phonetics is also to be studied. Plenty number of for integration of language. Right? Editing and post-production is also there in the media production. We have ample number of tools. Metadata tagging is again a big project in CIT. If you don't create a metadata, no content can be uploaded in any of the system, because if you want to have a supervised system of collection of data, we need to have a metadata. So we in NCERT, we are planning it into creating AI supported metadata digging. And we are also planning to have inclusive design. All the web pages, for example, NCERT and other websites, 14 websites which are related to NCERT has the design of inclusiveness, where you can find both the patterns of text to speech and voice to, that is also there. And also we have the magnifier which is given in the corner of the website for their understanding. So further we want to refine it based on the view of the child or the parent or the user. We can even maximize the screens automatically using AI. We are working on to it because these things are not a day-to-day life. It has to be taking some time for implementation practically. But however, we say that we will be working on to it. The next is talks about how do we align with the government and the DPI alignment, because this is the need of the hour. Again, if we do anything, we should strictly follow the protocols of Ministry of Education and Ministry of Electronics, and also we should also follow Ministry of Home Affairs, where the security protocol starts from there. So aligned with India's digital public infrastructure, we are planning for it. Seamless plugin and national platforms, which is also existing, that we will be incorporating. And the third important is evidence-based monitoring through RVSK, because digital footprints are the real danger for us. When I talk about digital footprints, it means that whenever I'm using a laptop, whenever you are using your mobile phone, instantaneously you find, for example, if you are talking about traveling to somewhere, and next day morning, even though you don't like or your plan is cancelled, you get plenty number of crossovers in your desktops. It means that somebody is understanding you. So we have to take care that why this is happening. These are all happens because of the crawlers. Crawler is a small piece of code that we write it and fix it through the internet connection, which comes and sits in your own router of your house or in your mobile phone. Normally it happens. So that starts its unveiling its code and then starts observing who you are. Even it will identify and tell you, you are alone in the house, you can do anything now. If you are angry, your husband is free, you can go and slap him. Even if your child is not happy, you can feed him with a biscuit. So that is all in the pipeline of, so these are all, because when we talk about child rights, when we talk about women's rights, when we talk about POSCO, these things are coming into the act. When we talk about all these three things, the last point is really a need. Evidence-based monitoring system. But however, we are doing it for the RVSK, we are planning to do it. Research and academic contribution. Again, this is not going to be a one-man work. It is to be a collected work. We are planning to establish the NCERT AI research repository. So whomsoever is working on AI, publishing any paper, that can be sent to us or we can collect it somewhere. And if somebody comes across, like our librarian Dr. Akash does a wonderful job. He collects plenty number of resources and sends to us. Most of us have no time to look into that. You find him, it is a very collective work which he publishes every day to which newspaper, what is the information, what education point of view domain, who is talking about what. It's a wonderful repository that he has created. So such type of repository should be further extended for our own faculty's development, that we should, which he has already launched it, but still most of us are lagging to use it. That I would like to appraise that there here. Impact studies on equity and learning, still in the newspaper, still in the textbook, still in the practical forces, but we need to use AI thinking into this particular area. We also need to think about collaboration with academic and mostly the startups. Because when you talk about startups are having more energy, but only thing is that they don't have money. We can call them through CSRs with the permission of higher authorities, and then we can work on it. If the concept is nice, we can also take a think over onto it. Next comes into the concepts of very clearly ethics, privacy, and inclusion framework. Again, I am very sensitively talking here. This is the made here. NCERT's AI ethics charter will be defined. We will be rolling out with the policies, which is good, which is not good. When we are going to design it, we are not going to think as Rajesh. We are not going to think about as it is Professor Bera, or it is thinking about like Professor Indu Kumar. We are going to think about NCERT. So it has to be taken for a positive note. We will be deliberating in the forthcoming sessions. And the second point is bias detection and inclusive evaluation should be done through AI. So that is also being planned. And the last is so sensitive, child data protection norms. as a NCERT faculty, we organize plenty number of programs for the school children as well as for the teachers. So still most of us don't know which data is sensitive, which is not sensitive. Asking a name of the girl child is also sensitive at certain places. But we use Instagram. What is the difference between using Instagram to collect data and using WhatsApp for collecting data? In Instagram, no mobile number is depicted. So that is the source of recognition. So because of that, CIT is using Instagram to collect the course complaints. So these sensitive things, and when you talk about child's getting Aadhaar number, even date of birth of a girl child is also sensitive. So many things has to be understood. There are plenty number of policies. Maybe we will be sharing all these things with the glimpses to make us understand which is good, which is not good, what to be done, what not to be done. Because as a faculty core, we should understand and we should think about how to be safe. And we will be continuously organizing plenty number of workshops for internal faculties mostly. Departmental oriental session also can be taken if any department wants a specific task, like if DGSN wants a specific task on AI, we can also organize such department-wise sessions also, because AI is for all. We have to drill down. We can have discussions. So plenty number of it is open for it. AI fellowship and visiting scholar programs can also be taken as internship programs for many of the departments, where most of the final year students are driving for internship. So we can call them, and then we can even plan to do plenty number of wonders through them. AI literacy cells at CIT, which is already been spoken upon. Further, we will also have plenty number of collaboration with partnerships, where strategic MOUs and global and national GenAI platforms can be taken upon. Co-creation with academic startups, and also mission conversion. These are all some of the administrative based way forward that we are presenting here. The next we will talk about alignment of national framework. This I am not going to repeat, because this most of the time we had been heard from plenty number of jambawans in the social and education sector. But here I would like to tell you a few points. When you talk about AI, in eJadupitara, I don't know how many of you have used eJadupitara. eJadupitara has 3 bots into it. When you talk about 3 bots, one bot is created for the teacher, one is created for the child, one is created for the parent also. If a parent cannot handle a child, he can just simply dial the number and then ask, इसको परेशान करना है, या तो story of the day क्या है, या movie of the day क्या है, या तो आपका song of the day क्या है, you can ask. This is first information, because you do not know what is exactly we are doing. We need to interact with each other. So first project, eJadupitara, you have 3 bots where AI is working. Number 2, in RVSK, we have started using AI for taking decision making by the higher authorities for attendance data. And apart from this, we have PAL, Personalized Adaptive Learning, which is also implemented in the Diksha portal. That also to be sensitized and used by us, because when you don't understand each other, you do not know what really AI is, you can come here, you can have a demo of it. You can see what exactly AI, and then you can think about how AI can be incorporated in your own projects. Because most of us have plenty number of projects, both PAC projects and PAB projects. So these AIs can be used. Apart from this, I would like to let you know that there is a scheme called as PM Portion. Even in the PM portion, IIT Madras, which is having 4 inbuilt AI servers with them itself. They are coming here. If any of the faculty visits Chennai, you can also write a letter to them. You can also meet them. You can also visit their server, Bharat AI. They have plenty number of names given to them. Please visit them to have more insights to them. Or else, if you want, next time we will call them here also. So we'll be planning that also. So there are plenty things that we can collaborate and do it. This is, I'm going to skip this. This is a phase-wise roadmap. In the first phase, as of 26, you can see we have initiated this cell today under the guidance of our director. And we will be now going for studying the pilot study for both the teachers as well as the students. And today, before this day is ending, we'll also have a feedback system followed by some of the interactions with one-to-one of you who are sitting here, and also both in online also. we want to understand each other. We want to know what exactly AI you are focusing upon. What do you think about AI, first of all? We need to understand, so that session also will be fruitful for us to take further. Because if you don't understand each other, we cannot train the entire nation. We cannot look upon writing textbooks based on AI. And somebody said in the morning, some Urdu textbook, I think Professor Bera said, Urdu textbook has a content on AI. So we need to think about that. So we need to have more collaboration. We'll be thinking about that. But these three phases are being taken upon 2025 to 2030. You can see the exact outcomes that we are planning. We need to reach 20 million students and 1 lakh schools with a minimum ratio of teaching them how, what, and which tool. We are even focusing upon minute tools also, which we'll be presenting here. Teacher readiness of handling AI to the maximum we have planned is 1.5 million that should be trained in AI. And when we start using or incorporating AI for the teaching learning process, we should understand at least positively 25% of improvement in their scores in the marks through learning outcomes. And also there will be some of the sessions taken for the administration of NCERT, so that they will also keep their workload reduced by 10 to 15%. So before doing this, we will be thoroughly understanding, we will be doing plenty number of pilot study, and then we will then incorporate into the further. So these are the phase-wise roadmap for our understanding. There are plenty number of risks and mitigations that you can understand here. We need to understand, first of all, how to bridge the infrastructure and digital divide. My dear friends, still you could have also experienced that still in India, there are few teachers who are not happy with using mouse pointers. So in that case, how do we make it successful? So we need to train them also. We need to understand, make them understand also that how AI can be used to upgrade the children who are studying there. And also we should think about AI, which is not going to be dependent on internet. If you think about this at this tenure, AI implementation without the intervention of internet will only solve the problem of digital divide. Otherwise, there will be 100% digital divide between Northeast and India. Sample, I'm telling you. So there comes the point. And the second is mitigation algorithms. These are all technical points that we will take upon. Because every activity will be taken upon with the data. Every activity will be based on the algorithmic performances. We will also talk about securing long-term commitments and empowering educators through the change management. We need to understand the change management. However, I would like to again reciprocate what our director said. Our director sir already mentioned that AI can be only a supporter. It cannot be a overtaker. It can never overtake any human being. Maybe it can be for a passing by cloud for a particular activity, not for the entire system. So that we have to understand. And also the conclusion, we all sit together collectively to think about a human-centric AI vision. This is what I want to define here. I'm not talking about artificial intelligence as a source. I'm not talking about artificial intelligence as point of a robotic, which takes decision based on the data that it feed on. But it should be a human-centric. So that is what I want to tell you. Ethical in the sense, two human beings should understand what is ethically right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. So based on that, ethical, inclusive, and context-based specific AI for Indian learners has to be modulated, number one. Number two, empowering teachers as facilitators, not the replacers. So another point here. The third is NCERT's leadership in global AI, which is going to be the education disclosure. So with this, I hope I come to the conclusion. We will be working on, this is the logo that we had been defined with plenty number of logos, but this got somewhat like suitable. Again, with the approval of Director Sir, we will again float it out. So I think I've shared the theoretical concept, and today's objective was only theoretical. Maybe we will be having the couple of sessions in the lab, which will be having 2 or 3 alternative sessions. with the appropriate authorities approval, we will be handling it physical mode. Because when I talk about practical mode, we are not going to have any online sessions, we will have only physical sessions. So we will be doing it phase wise, and also with the approval, we will do it based on the institutes also. And if somebody wants department wise, that also can be done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for a very deep insight and a very clear roadmap for using AI in NCERT. And now we will have a feedback session. And I request the technical team to just please show up the QR code for the feedback form. And as we have concluded all the sessions, now we can stop the YouTube live. And now we will have our feedback session. And after that, Indu ma'am will be joining us for the open discussion and valedictory session. So scanning the QR, you can fill up the feedback form, and then after the evaluation, your participation certificates will be auto-generated and delivered to your mail itself. And all the participants joined online and already registered with the registration form online, they have already must have received the mail with for the feedback form and the participation certificate form.